Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Rob Carmona, and welcome back to another episode of Rob the Mic. So, I know last week we were talking about things being a little on the rough side, and I was trying to like fix my mentality, right? Like the way I started my days, the way I went about things, how I was trying to process the information that I was dealing with. And honestly, even within the last week that I've really tried to put a lot of these things into practice, it's definitely helped me out a lot, especially with how I start my days. So I've been trying to push away from social media. Like when I wake up, instead of grabbing my phone, I just kind of sit there and think for a little while, whether it's things that are just on my mind, whatever it may be. Like I just kind of process the thoughts that I have, let them run out, and then start to do the whole like, look, I'm here. This is where I'm at. What am I going to do today? I'm going to make the most of it. Thankful for this, and that. And it's really helped me out. I'm not gonna lie. And have I done it every single day? I haven't. But what I have done is at least put it into practice, which before I wasn't normally doing. I would do it every once in a while type of thing, or when I would have my meditations, but I wasn't doing it as often as I'm doing it right now. And like even in the last week, I would say I've probably done it, let's say 5 out of the 7 days that have passed. So for myself, that's pretty good. Because again, the fact that I wasn't doing it really at all to that many days is already a good spot. And like even today, did the same thing. Yesterday, I did it as well. And today was kind of cool, actually, when I was in that process, because I kind of sat with it a little longer than I normally would. And I kind of turned it into like a meditation to start my day, which was nice. And I don't normally meditate to start my day. I usually do my meditations to end my days because it helps me kind of go to sleep. It helps me wind down. I do my, which I know I've talked about with you guys before. Like I do my body scans. Body scans help me out a ton. So I just kind of, I feel exactly where I'm at. So when I'm laying down, you can do body scans anywhere, any place, anytime. But for myself, because it's like before I go to bed, I start from the top of my head and just kind of feel and recognize every part of my body, like whatever I can, when I breathe, like how does my chest feel? My hands, how do they feel? Like my head, how does my head feel? Everything just kind of go down my entire body to slow myself down. And it helps. It's not for everybody. I can't say that type of stuff is for everybody. But for me, those types of things help. But again, starting my day on a little more of a brighter note, per se, like just kind of reminiscing on things that are good, things that are positive, that's the type of shit that gets me through the day. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday and they were like, oh, dude, I feel like today's going to be just like yesterday and the day before. And I'm like, hold on. Not like I'm trying to be all cliche like or like sound some type of way, but it's like you can't start your days off like that. You can't. And I know it's mad cheesy to be like, oh, today's going to be better. But when you have that kind of mentality, it's a lot easier on you versus being like, today's going to be shit just like yesterday and the day before. Because you're already going into it with a negative mindset, right? And for a lot of people, those of you who are watching and or listening, you're probably like, well, duh, that's common sense. But the matter of the fact is, a lot of people don't have that. They don't think about it like that. That's why they stay in that mindset. And it's really easy to do that. And like there are certain people I've kind of distanced myself from because I feel like they're kind of stuck in that mindset. And it's nothing against them personally. Like I love them to death. I hope everything's great for them and everything's well. And I still talk to these people, but I don't talk to them as often because again, certain things, certain mindsets, I'm just like, dude, you got to get out of that. And for me, I can't start my day every single day listening to shit like that. So it's like I have to protect my peace, right? Which again, that's something that we talk about a lot on the show. You got to protect your peace because if you don't do it, no one's going to protect it for you. Again, if you're just taking in negativity all the time and people being like, today sucks, today's going to be horrible, today's going to be horrible, that mentality is going to set in at some point, right? Because there's seeds that are being planted. And eventually you're going to water them. Let's say you go to Starbucks, right? Or wherever you're going to go get your coffee. They mess up your order and you're like, damn, you know what? So-and-so was right. Today is going to be shit because they messed up my coffee order. But in reality, maybe they messed up your coffee order because they were hella busy and something was going down and maybe the person making it wasn't paying attention. Total accident. So you could take that situation and just keep it moving and be like, it's all right. What do you know? It's cool. It's cool. At least in the grander scheme, at least I got a coffee right now. It is what it is. And you keep it moving, keep it pushing. Next thing you know, your day's cool. But again, if you let that simple thing go, those seeds that have already been planted where it's like today's going to be shit, you're like, that's right. and you're going to keep watering it, keep watering it. Next thing you know, you get to work, shit's already going down, and you're just like, it's a mess. It's a mess. A domino effects, right? It's a massive domino effect. And I've been very aware of that. And it's been very helpful to be kind of switching up my mindset as of recent. And you know what I'm also trying to do too, because my birthday's coming up. And as a lot of you know, because I've talked about it before, and it's always a thing. Usually around my birthday, it's a tough time for multiple reasons. And I always get in a really difficult spot mentally. And it's hard to pull myself out of these holes sometimes. And even like leading up to my birthday, it's difficult, and sometimes a little bit after, but I struggle. And the last thing I need is to have like a very weak state of mind and to be very hurt and to be very just down on myself and down on life. Like I can't have that, because if I can fix that or kind of give myself a little bit more of a boost and be in a little more of a positive state, that's going to help me out come my birthday. Because like this past year for my birthday was probably one of the best ones I ever had. Because I like leading up to it was a little bit rough, but I was able to kind of correct it. And I had the right people around me that I really love, that I really care for. And it made the day that much more special. And this year is definitely going to be a little more difficult for multiple reasons. I think one of the biggest ones, of course, is that my uncle isn't going to be present. And he was here for my last one, you know, like we were all on the table, laughing, busting up, making memories, taking pictures, all this stuff. And that this year it's not going to be like that. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I don't know. Maybe I'll try and go out of town. Like, I'm not really sure. I might try and switch it up this year in some way, but I do want to correct and have a good state of mind for this. And me doing these types of things daily, practicing this like gratitude, practicing this positivity, bringing good things, like good people into my life, it's going to help me be in a better state come that time. So the fact that I've been in this place and I've been doing these things, I feel all right now. I definitely feel a lot better than I did last week. That I will tell you. And I did have my rough moments for sure. Even after the podcast, it stayed rough for a little bit, but I was all right. And did I have my rough moments in this last week? For sure, of course. But it's cool. It's cool. Like I'm in a way better spot. I feel all right. I'm giving myself the benefit of the doubt where it's like, hey, take it one at a time, right? Things are cool right now. Take it. Run with it. Don't start asking yourself questions like, how long is it going to last? What's going to fuck it up? This, and that. It's like, I can't do that. And taking everything a day at a time is really what's put me in a good state. And a lot of stuff that I experienced last week was cool, or that I've experienced in the last week has been really cool. And it's because a part of it, I feel like, is because I've adopted that mentality. So I'm just kind of taking things as they come, and they've been pretty positive. It's been pretty good. So, I'm happy with that. Like Friday, I spent the day, I was talking to somebody, and they were detailing their car. And I said, you know what? I'm going to wash the truck. I haven't done that in a while. And it was really gross. With all this like rain that's been going down and just like on and off sprinklings and all this, I was like, I'm gonna wash this up real quick. So I washed it, vacuumed, cleaned everything up real nice, which was kind of pointless because the next day I ended up going on a trail ride with Sebastian and Albert, but we'll get to that. But anyways, I took that night. It was cool. It was chill. Prepped up all my tools, got all my stuff together. And then, Sebastian called me and was like, hey, dude, this was actually right before I got my tools together. He was just like, hey, dude, look, this weekend we were supposed to go on a trail run, but it's not going to happen for, these reasons. But he's like, tomorrow, let's go to Silverwood. I said, all right, cool. And Sebastian's favorite trail out there, which is a trail I've told you guys about before too, which is 2N17X. So it's essentially Pilot Rock Trail, but it's a trail that you take the spine of the mountain. And I would say it's one of the more aggressive trails in San Bernardino. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at least to my knowledge, because I've done a majority of the San Bernardino trails, and this one seems to be the most aggressive. It's the one that I told you guys about that I went on a night run with him. So we were going to be doing it during the day. And I was also going to be taking my rig and not going with him. So I was like, yeah, bro, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go. It's cool. I was like, my truck's in a good spot. Everything's fine. Let's run it up. Let's go have a good time. So I hit up Albert and I was like, hey, bro, what are you doing tomorrow? Between, this time and this time. He said, I'm free. I said, cool. Let's run it up. Let's go hit a trail. He's like, hell yeah, dude, let's go. Let's go, and I needed a day of disconnection for sure. I needed something that I could, because the thing is, when you're out rock crawling and doing this type of sport, I say it's a sport, but when you're out here doing this type of activity, sport, whatever you want to call it, you can't think about other shit, especially on a trail like this, because it's one of those things. If your head is somewhere else and you're not paying attention to what you're doing, you're flipping, and that's it. It's game, and no one's gonna come and save you because it's one way in, one way out. So it's like, if it's really bad, depending on how bad you flip or whatever the situation is, they're gonna have to fucking airlift you out. But I needed something that I could fully focus on something else. You know what I mean? So when I told Albert, hey, let's go disconnect because I know you need it too, bro. He's like, you know what? You're right. Let's go. Let's go. So I told Sebastian, I said, hey, let's leave at this time. Let's dip out. So we go, we have a good time. Like we go pick up Albert, dip out, hit the trail, airing down. And I'm just like, man, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been out in my truck, right? Because I've been doing a lot of like straight axle activities, especially since I've been kicking it with all the Jeep homies. And I always go out with Sebastian and, all the guys. But switching back to my rig, it's very, very different because, I have an FJ Cruiser, so it's an IFS setup. And just, dude, the way that they work is so fucking different. It's so fucking different. You can't even compare the two. And there's pros and cons to both, right? But I feel like for trails like this, straight axle, solid axle is definitely where you want to be. Just because of the capability of flex, everything's like super rutted out. It's really fucking aggressive. It's a really aggressive trail. I think if you don't have a properly built truck, you have no business being on this shit because it can get really dangerous really fucking fast. Really fucking fast because a lot of shit's really steep. It's really heavy. It's really rutted out. And if you're not prepared to be in certain situations and you're really uncomfortable being off axis and whatever that may be, like to an extreme point, then you shouldn't be here. That's 100% how that trail is. Like, I'm not trying to scare you guys, freak y'all out. Those of you guys who are curious about rock crawling, I'm not trying to scare you. It's just the nature of the beast. And for this trail specifically, if you're not ready, don't be on it. I suggest you just take the mountain up, follow around the lake, and do pilot rock because there's a bunch of offshoots and you can take fire road or offshoot, however you want to do it. But with all the rains that have passed, the trail got much, much more difficult. And it was a fucking day, dude. Honestly, I had a lot of moments where I was like, fuck, man, like, what am I doing here? What the fuck am I doing here, dude? Like, why do I think this shit's fun? Like, I had to like remind myself again, and again, it is fun, dude. I enjoy that shit very much so. But it had been a while since I've been out in my truck. So experiencing certain things in that rig, I was like, ooh, here we go. I had two situations that I almost flipped. And I was like, damn, this is where we are. This is where the fuck I got myself. And it's funny because, I have pictures that are going to be releasing on Friday about that. So those of you guys who are listening to this and are watching, you're getting your little preview of what's coming out on Friday. But a couple of those photos are going to be coming out Friday. And man, it was nuts. Like, I've never been in that situation in my truck. And it's a really scary feeling. Really, really scary feeling. Like, I can't even lie to you guys. When you feel your truck tipping back, like you're coming up something, you fall into a rut and you just feel your truck coming back, you're like, damn. You literally, there's nothing you can do. So all I did for both of those situations, I just stayed on the brake and I'm just like chilling, like, fuck, dude, don't fucking move. Right? And shouts to Sebastian, dude, because if it wasn't for that dude, honestly, I probably would have flipped easy. At the first time, I would have flipped already because he had to get on the side of the truck, push my truck up as I was coming up super slow so that I wouldn't lean back and come toppling backward. And then the second time, he ended up doing the same thing. But the second time was almost worse in a way. And I ended up in the same position both times, which is fucking hilarious, dude. Like, coming up, truck almost toppled backward the exact same way. Like, my front driver wheel completely off the ground, rear passenger wheel falling into a rut. So it's the worst possible thing because, again, you're just going to come toppling back. So both of those situations, aside from the entire day, had my full attention. And it was a humbling in a sense, because I was like, damn, dude, fuck, you had a couple close calls today. But it's part of the game. It's what you do. And then from there you figure out what you need to do. Like, okay, what's next for the truck? What do I want to fix? What do I want to do? What do I want to change? Right? Because the times that I had been out and that I've been wheeling have been all Jeep oriented. And I'm not saying, so we're like, first off, all you fucking Toyota people listening right now, y'all probably like, oh my God, Rob's gonna sell his shit and get a Jeep. Fucking relax. No one's doing that type of shit. Calm down. Calm down. I'm not doing that. But there are certain things I do want to do to my truck that will put me in a better position to do certain types of wheeling, because I like to do certain types of wheeling. That's the thing. So I need to kind of adjust my setup, because I'm definitely getting more aggressive. The trails that I'm hitting with certain people, things that I'm doing are a lot more aggressive. And there's a certain point where I feel like with an IFS setup, you kind of have to understand what your limitations are. And with the solid, you also understand the capabilities, and you see certain limitations with that too, right? But you also understand what the benefit of that setup is. And again, having wheeled so much with Jeeps and wheeling in Sebastian's Jeep itself, like me driving it, being inside of it, I understand how a little bit more how certain geometries work and why they do certain things, right? Like why you would rather have this set up for this type of activity versus others, right? Like a lot of guys who run IFS, like you'll see it very like pre-runner type shit, which ideally for something like that, you do want your wheels to move independently. You want things to just kind of act how they do. Like you want to just let them kind of be. But for stuff like this, it's really tough, because you can land yourself in situations where you're like, fuck, man, this could be really bad. And again, on Saturday, I experienced that shit. And it's not that I was pushing myself, but of course, I would definitely say that I was pushing myself, because there were certain lines that I wanted to do that were easier per se, like the walkarounds or the bypasses. And a part of me, like I know if I was to go back, I would try certain lines again. And there's other ones that I would be very, very cautious as to how I approach them. So wheeling in my truck, I do have to think, because a part of me forgot that day. I still know how to wheel, do all those types of things, right? But again, wheeling in my truck is very different compared to wheeling in a Jeep or in any sort of solid axle vehicle. So do have some things that I need to work on. But the fact that I was able to disconnect, go away, be with my boys, like my brothers, was the best thing, dude. Like we had a moment where we parked up the trucks. We had just done like a hectic part of the trail. And we parked up on this piece of a mountain, pulled up some chairs, playing the jams, and just having some snacks, dude. And I was like, this is it. This is what this shit's about. Like the wheeling's cool, don't get me wrong. It's cool to get down and do wild shit and take cool pictures and shit like that. But it's just the experience, dude. It's the memories. And again, I needed to disconnect. I needed to think about something else. And all I could focus on is what the fuck I was doing and how I'm going to get out of this trail in one piece. And for, again, a lot of you guys listening and or watching, you're probably like, dude, how the fuck is that fun? Sometimes it's really helpful. Everybody has their shit that they like to do. Some people play video games. Some people bake. Some people cook. Some, there's all kinds of stuff. They paint. They go rollerblading, go skating, ride BMX, whatever. Like everybody has something that helps them disconnect. And this is one of the things that helps me disconnect, because I need to fully focus on what it is that I'm doing. And I think it's really hard to find an activity that you need to fully focus on, that takes all of your mental strength, all of your physical, just because you have to be present. Because if you're not present, it's going to be a problem. And this is one of those things. It's a very high stress situation, but I need to be fully present for it, both physically and mentally. I need to be here. If my guy outside of the truck is telling me, hey, slightly driver, okay, slightly passenger, okay, come forward, okay, stop, reverse a little bit. Like I need to be there. I can't be thinking about issues in my love life. I can't be thinking about issues with my family. So having a day like that was good. I really fucking needed it, man. Really, really needed it. And I remember thinking about it once we were done and driving back, once we got to the bottom and we're airing up. I was just sitting there and I'm like, damn, dude, what a fucking day. Like I felt I felt exhausted just from like being so tense the majority of the time. But there was something so good about it at the same time. Like it was very rewarding. I was very proud of myself, of the truck, because I got through it. And that isn't a trail that I ever thought I would hit in my truck. Because as much as it's built to do certain things, just because it's built to do certain things, I'm not going to push it to 110% of its limit. Because I also feel like there's a price that you pay at that point, and I'm not willing to pay that price just yet. Like there's certain things I have to do to it that would get me to continue pushing its limits. And I think Saturday I definitely hit a limiting point that I don't know I will want to keep experiencing with the rig. But of course, that's not going to stop me wheeling at all. I'm still going to go hit and do all the fucking things. There's all kinds of trips that we're planning, stuff that we're planning on doing, and the truck's going to do it. And it's going to do its fucking thing, and it's going to be great. Like I already know it. And it's going to be very rewarding, the same way I felt after this trail. But again, there's something so calming about that. And I think another cool thing too, which I know I've mentioned before, it's putting me in a place that a majority of people are never going to see. There was views and points that we got to that, again, a majority of people are not going to be able to see ever in their lives. Because this trail is not something you can just drive through. If you have a stock vehicle, has stock vehicles made it through before? They have, but this was also at times where the trail was in a very different place, where it wasn't as rutted out or it wasn't in a certain position. So now I 100% again would not recommend, unless you have a properly built vehicle, which is very loose, right? That can be really anything. But if you don't have it built a certain way, stay the fuck off this trail. 100%. Don't go. Don't recommend it. Again, if you don't like being off axis and you're not okay with shit going down, do not go, because the trail is not for the faint, without a fucking doubt. But I needed it. It helped me. And then after the fact, we dipped out, checked out my truck, had to tighten some things. And then Sebastian and I went to go eat. We got a burger afterwards, right here at a local spot. We're just chilling, talking about the day. Just beat to shit, dude. Beat to shit. It's been a long day. You know, I get home and then I get a call from a friend. I was like, yo, like, you want to go get some dessert? I say, you know what? Yeah. And I was, again, wrecked. But I'm like, let's go. Because, again, I was trying to be open. I'm just trying to stay as open as possible to whatever life is throwing at me. And I don't ever want to miss something because I'm like, I'm tired. You know, I don't feel up to it. And I was like, fuck it, dude. Push it. Let's keep pushing it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Went, got some dessert. Great conversation. Good times. Made more memories. And I'm just like, dude, look at what I did today, because I was open to what the universe had for me. I went on a trail day with my brothers. Got breakfast with them. Shared a bunch of laughs. Chilling out. Had a good time. We got closer. And it's like, that alone, that was worth it. And then going to dinner with Sebastian afterward, beautiful, amazing. Came back, showered, got ready. Next thing you know, I'm over here at a restaurant, sitting down having dessert. And I'm like, this is so fucking crazy. Talking about the day, going through all this stuff. And it's like, dude, I literally almost flipped multiple times today, but I'm eating some butter cake and some chocolate mousse. Like, there was something so funny about that, right? Like, because you have these two polar opposite situations, and somehow this whole fucking day just came together, and then it closed out to be something really fucking great. And like, I couldn't have asked for a better day. That Saturday was something I really fucking needed. And, you know, move on to Sunday. I ended up chilling with Sebastian some more, because I come out to my truck. I was going to go out to this park in Yorba Linda for my buddy Raul's birthday. Happy birthday, Raul, by the way. I hope you had a great one on Sunday, because I wasn't able to make it. Because I come out to my truck and my fucking front passenger wheel is flat. And I was obviously pissed about that, because I'm like, fuck, dude, something happened on the trail. Like, probably got a cut in the sidewall, or a rock is stuck somewhere and I had a slow leak. And I'm glad it didn't happen when I was driving around Saturday night, or even on the way home from the trail, right? Because it's like an hour back. Well, actually a lot longer than that. From the trailhead to my buddy's house, it's like 45-ish minutes. From there to here, it's like another hour. So it's like roughly 2 hours. I'm glad nothing happened, right? And at least it was here at the house. But I hit him up. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm not going to be able to make it. Truck's on the ground. I got to get this sorted. So I hit up Sebastian. He's like, cool, on my way. Comes over the house, chilling. We go grab some drinks. And then he was like, dude, you know what? Truck's fucking filthy. I'm going to go get it washed. I said, fuck that, dude. Thank you for coming to the house. I got you. I got you on the truck. Let me wash it. Let me take care of it, whatever. We end up making a day of it. We go get some drinks, kick back. We finish up my truck, do the damn thing. Next thing you know, we're having just a full on just truck washing sesh, you know? So we're washing his Jeep, washing the FJ. And there was something so nostalgic about that because I felt like I was back in high school. You know, when the homies would come to the house, like, hey, dude, we're going to go out tonight. Oh, sick. You know, let's wash the cars. Whose house are we washing at? Oh, and then a lot of times it would be mine because I was a good medium where everybody was located. So everybody would come out here, bring their cars, and we'd just be lined up. Everybody washing them, doing their damn thing. And that's what it felt like. So it was a good amount of nostalgia. And again, this was things I was just open to, just kind of taking whatever the day had to throw at me. And then, you know, just sharing the laughs, sharing more memories, making more things, talking about the day before, talking about stuff we want to do in the future. We started talking about the queue because the queue was in the garage chilling. And I was like, man, dude, I got to make certain moves and certain choices regarding this car. So he and I were talking about that. And just, it felt good, dude. I was in a good place. And even Sunday morning, I woke up and I was very thankful for where I was, reflecting on the day before that I had made it home safe, that I made memories with the people that I love. I just felt very good. So again, going into Sunday, it felt like I was like, I feel good right now. And then as the things were unfolding, I said, this is where I'm at. This is where I need to be. Finishing out the day, I ended up going to have dinner. And I also watched, what's the name of this movie? I wrote it down. I had to look down at my notes, y'all. I ended up watching Miller's Girl. So I had Wingstop and watched Miller's Girl, which is with Jenna Ortega. So for those of you guys who don't know who that is, it was a girl who played Wednesday in the show Wednesday on Netflix. It was a trippy ass movie. If you want something weird, not like super fucking weird, but just like a little on the weird side, it's very, very like literary forward. It's like if you're into literature, you like poetry type of things, this movie would definitely be for you. It's a very odd situation, but the way things are said is just, it's very, very poetic. So definitely a trippy movie. If you got nothing to watch, go watch it. Let me know what you think. Let's have a conversation about it. Because when I was watching it, after the conversation that came was pretty nuts, because we were trying to break down the film and just like, what the fuck just happened? What did we just watch type of thing? So it was cool. But even that felt good. You know, I got to spend the day with my brother, have a good time, wash my truck, get everything all set up. Next thing you know, I'm over here having Wingstop, watching a movie, chilling out, just enjoying my life, whatever comes at me and whoever it's with. So I can't complain. I can't complain at all. And then even leading up to that, or I guess like after Sunday, the week so far, it's been really great. Really fucking great. A really busy Monday, catching up on work, trying to get things done. Because Friday I ended up doing like a half day. And I'm glad that I did that because I feel like I get so stuck in this like grind, which is fine. Like, you know, it's cool to be like that sometimes, but you also have to remember to pull yourself back. I had to pull myself back. Glad I did it. Busy Monday. Yesterday had a busy day. But then last night I went to go watch Ralph Barbosa. And I'm not really one for stand-up comedy. Like, I'm not a big stand-up comedy person. There's very few people that I actually think are funny. And there's even fewer people that I would ever pay to see. And I was able to go see him last night. I went to go see him at the Comedy Store in Hollywood. And the whole fucking night was so dope. Like, I went to go eat at a spot out there that I used to go eat at when I was a lot younger. And I would hang out there and party. Got a burger. Super bomb. Go over to the Comedy Store. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Let's do this damn thing. And the show itself, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Again, it's hard for me because I'm a very harsh critic and there's not a lot of shit, at least stand-up wise, that I think is really funny. So I wasn't laughing too much at the other fools. No disrespect to them. But I'm just like, it's tough for me because a lot of it seems very try-hard. And I don't do very well with like try-hard comedy. So, and for those of you guys who are really into comedy, you probably know what I'm talking about. Even if you're not, you probably know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, some fools just try really fucking hard to be funny. And I'm like, that shit's corny. It's a very, very fine line, you know? Once this fool came on stage, I was like, just dying the whole fucking time. Because I like his style of comedy because a lot of it's just very conversational. And he's not like trying to be funny or trying to go overly out and about and like this. It's just the way that he is. It's the type of person that he is. He is just a funny dude. And there's not many comedians that are like that are just funny fucking people. Very, very few, right? I think another one that's really funny is I want to say his name's Jay Morgan. I think that was funny too. And he incorporates, I like what he does because it's different. He incorporates music into his comedy, and I really fuck with that. So it's tight. He brings on like a synthesizer, and like it's cool. I fuck with him. So like those two dudes, heavy. And last night it just reinforced the fact that I was like, yep, I'd pay to see this fool any fucking time. And I knew it. I knew he was gonna be solid. When I was introduced to him, I saw his special that's on Netflix. And I was like, who's this fucking Ray Barbosa fool? And I've seen his stuff on IG, but I never saw like his special, or I didn't even know he had one. Watched it and I was like, I fucking love this dude. He's sick. He's fucking hilarious. Like I was laughing the entire time. So I'm like, I would love to see him live. Can't. Had the opportunity and did not regret it. Not one fucking bit. It was so great. And I needed that. I needed just some solid, good laughs. Not that I didn't have them throughout the day, because I definitely did. Like over dinner, before, great. Laughing the entire time. Laughing on the way home. Talking about all the things. Like, it was cool. And I'm just like, fuck, dude, this is what life is about. This is what life is about. Taking whatever the fuck comes at me. Things pop up. Things happen. Take advantage of those situations. Just fucking live it and love it, because it's a gift. Something's being bestowed upon me for me to experience. And yeah, I have the option to turn it away, but what the fuck am I turning it away for? So I can sit here, be sad, and think about shit that I have no control over? You can miss me with that. I'm really trying to get out of that headspace. Push myself, get out, feel comfortable, get into places, meet people, smile, talk, do that type of shit. Because it's good. It's good for the soul. It makes me feel good as a person. I can't tell y'all to go do it because I don't know. Everybody's different. But the days that I've been experiencing have been good because they've been stacked up like that. Or things pop up, things come up. Hey, you know what? Let's get together here. Let's fucking go. Hey, let's go over here. Let's fucking go. Because that's what I want. I want my days filled with things like that. I want them filled of moments, of memories, things like that I can constantly look back on. And that's what makes me feel really fucking good. It makes me feel complete, more complete than I do. Because I feel like I'm in a good spot. But again, things get rough and I need spots like this to constantly reflect on. And even like tonight, meeting up with a group of friends, we're going to go hang out in LA. We're going to go to an arcade and just chill. We've all like been trying to get together. We've all been trying to, get shit going. And we had planned to get together. I want to say it was next week or 2 weeks from now. And I was like, what a fucking bummer, But then somebody in the group was like, hey, I'm actually free this Wednesday. Who the fuck is free Wednesday night? And we were all like, you know what? Fucking do it. Let's go. Let's go. Just say the time. Let's make it happen. All right, cool. It's like 7:38. Straight. We're all going to fucking be there. And look it's like now I have some plans for tonight with some people I really care for. And it's like, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. Shit pops up and I'm just fucking running at it. And it's making life so much more exciting. So I'm trying to be more open, trying to open my heart, open my mind. Not that I haven't been, but due to certain things going down, yeah, I've definitely been in a different state. And this has been really helpful. These things, these moments, and they're just reinforcing me to continue doing this stuff, continue taking what life is throwing at me. So with all of this being said, I was trying to think of some advice for this episode. And I was like, how am I going to tell everybody? Because we're just talking about like my week, right? Like stuff, my mental process, where I've been at, how I've been feeling, what's been going on, how I've been doing things, how I've been kind of navigating. And I said, what am I going to say? And so I started to think about the trail. And I think that's where, not even I don't think, I know that's where I'm getting this advice from. So I wrote down something and I'm going to read it to y'all. That way you guys can see what's up. I put, sometimes you have to put yourself in fucked up situations to see if the people around you really have your back. Because when you feel that you can't get yourself through it, they're the ones that are going to step up and make it happen. Because the things that I've been experiencing, I've been trying to do them alone. And a lot of the times I get stuck. I fall into a rut, just the way my truck did on Saturday. And by myself, maybe I would have been able to get out, or maybe not. I don't know. I probably would have toppled over. But if not for the right people behind me, on the side of me, to help me be like, hey, you got it. It's cool. I'm right here. That's what this is. We can't do it alone. I don't care what anybody says. You can't do this shit alone. So think about it. Think about the people around you. And when you put yourself or when you end up in really rough situations, who are the ones that show up? Who are the ones that got you? That make you feel supported, that make you feel heard, seen, loved, understood, all of that. They make you feel capable. They make you feel like you're a stronger version of yourself. They make you feel more yourself. That's where it's at. Not people who can sit there and change you and fuck up your life. That's wrong. People like that can kick rocks. Tell them to get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? But I appreciate every single one of y'all. Got nothing but love for y'all. Good vibes, light, sending you guys everything the good in this universe. I'm sending it your way. I appreciate you guys for coming here every week, for listening, for watching, however you take in this podcast. It means a lot, because without y'all, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing this type of shit. I would just be sitting here talking to a camera for no damn reason. But again, thank you guys so much for supporting Rob the Mic, for being here. And I hope you have a beautiful day, beautiful rest of your week, an amazing weekend. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next one.